So let's talk about the first leg from 1 to 4. Whether it was the first leg or the last leg or the next to last upwind leg. Because I started and I looked at that peninsula and I thought, well, the breeze is coming here, is going to bend around there, you're going to get a lot of shifts, which I think you did. And I was kind of convinced you should bang the side, and it was the worst thing to do.
It changed throughout the day too.
It changed throughout the day. I mean, Ed had one where, I'm like, oh, he's screwed, and he wasn't.
And then there was one where
and we had ones where we were below everyone and lower the mark, and the wind just came up and shifted, and we got in pressure and squirted out. And the people who were above us didn't get that puff, and it was that first leg. That leg is really shifty and.
I like having options. And so if you're bunched in with a bunch of people, you have no options, right? You're locked in. And so, so even if it's not so good, I like having options, and I like find the hole, and keep options open.
Yeah.
How many of you guys have sailed Clark Lake before?
Not many.
It's shifty.
No.
That cove, I don't know. We don't like to get trapped.
You mean where the winter mark was?
Yeah. The cove, stay away from it.
Yeah, we can't. I think
we
mark was.
Stay away from it.
Yeah.
We would love to. But I was sometimes on that leg. We get what felt like an auto tack.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
And we
Oh,
take
yeah.
it, and it
Feel
was
like
the
it.
wrong thing to do. If sometimes it wasn't an option.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was auto tack or go over. But other times we were like we tack, and it just. So I kind of learned. I mean.
There's this little funky thing before the
we
shift
found
that
ourselves
just.
in the middle, playing the shifts, but not being too aggressive, and I think it paid off a lot of those legs.
Tony tells me to be patient, be patient,
No.
be patient.
And then be more patient.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyone else on that first leg? Any input or questions? I mean, beef fleeters. You got a problem. You want to know. You're not pointing. You can't go downwind. Just
So
out
on
down.
B Fleet, there was one experience that I had that demonstrated what you were talking about earlier. On the last race, we were first position coming off the start, and the boat just below us did exactly what one of you described a minute ago. Pushed us up until our nose was into the wind. We lost speed, and the rest of the boats just flew right past us. But we were so proud of ourselves because we made first position.
Well,
We were first one off the line.
the only first position is rounding marks and at the end. Everything else is never a first position.
Yeah.
That's as far as I'm concerned. You cross someone or you round a mark or at the end. Everything else is never a leader.
I would like to reinforce something that was alluded to a couple times, but not clearly outrightly stated. Two boats sailing together are always slower than one boat sailing by itself. So if you are in a vicinity of a cluster of boats and you can find a way out of it, you're probably better off. Now, if that, as to Jeff's point earlier, if that fleet is going the right way, sailing off to the wrong side of the course is a bad idea. But if you're not sure, if you're like, should I tack or not, and there's a cluster of boats around you, the answer is probably yes. If you get away.
I think the better example of that was on the long leg from 4 to 2, right? And where, particularly where there was a bunch of spinnakers, right? And you're all going down, and I was in it. I think there was a group of 4 boats, all spinnakers up, and all I wanted to do is get separation from anybody. Like I want to be by myself, and every time I tried to turn down to get like separation, the rest of them would like come down and whatever. So and I just watched 2 boats below us that were not sailing near either, anybody. They were both single boats, and they just went past all of us. I mean, yeah, you're good. And that's a situation where it's fun to try to blanket people and all that sort of stuff, but this is a fleet race, right? And so you're not racing one boat, you're racing everybody. And the better thing to do is to try to get separation from everybody, because all you're doing, especially with the spinnakers up, is stopping the air. I mean, think about it, right? If you saw the wind blowing through the air, right, and you just put up 4 spinnakers, right, the wind gets there and slows down, and then anybody outside of that zone, they're just going to keep on going, right? So, spreading out is the better call there. It's hard to do.
Jeff, that's a great point. And I said it to a lot of people, and it ended up not working out for the other people around me some of the time. But I think it worked out for us mutually. Like I said it to Evan and Liz. I said, hey, don't take me up. Let's get away.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Let's not fight. Let's just get away.
But I want to fight with you, Ed.
Yeah. There are people here who want to fight,
Save that for
and there's
sure.
people here who want to get away. Avoid the people who want to fight, and work together to get extended. Because I think I told John once, I was like, I don't want to fight you. I just want to get away.
Yeah. Well, like there was the big cluster down here in that last race. And we were going in, and we were behind all that, and we just went down and got wide enough from everybody that the cluster happened, and we were able to go around it, and really only about a couple boat lengths away from the mark with speed, and the whole cluster was behind us after the mark, and we were behind them all in the beginning, and we just said, we're not going to get into that. That's going to be a mess. And then Jimmy and Jeff were on the inside of the cluster, did the same thing. It was like, stay out of those clusters.
So when you are close to other boats, the mark grounding Steve is referring to, we came to that mark grounding way behind everybody in that cluster, and I heard a lot of yelling. And I hate to tell this, I hate to say this, but man, was I glad to hear the yelling.
Yes,
It
same.
made my day to hear people in front of me yelling at each other, because I knew I was going to pass them. Because while everybody up front was busy yelling at each other, they weren't concentrating on how to get around the mark quickly. Had people just said, hey, fastest way to get around the mark is this, I'll go first, or you go first, even you go first. Is frequent. Ronnie and I got to the mark at the same time, and I said, Ronnie, you go first. Build your speed. I'm not going to mess with you. You go speed, go fast. He goes fast. I let him go first. I came around the mark. Because he went fast and first, he got out of my way. I now have clear air to do what I want. I go forward, I tack out of the way, and I pass 6 or 7 boats in that maneuver. Everybody who was busy yelling at each other just slowed each other down. Every time I'm in a situation anywhere on that race course where any of us are not, we're like, I'm going to protest you or whatever, we just slow down collectively.
The shouting's good if it comes from one direction. If it's all around you,
Yeah,
you're in it. Get the hell out of there, right?
So how do you get out of it when you're pinched in?
Yeah.
Well,
sometimes
look ahead of time. I mean, that's,
You guys were all catching up on me.
Yeah.
And I literally could not do anything.
Start establishing overlap or no overlap way before the 3 boat length.
There was well-established overlap
Yeah.
with everybody. Mike lost his control just for a momentary second. Dave came up. I got sandwiched, and it became a pinwheel of death.
Pinwheel of death.
And so I just
but we
stayed.
appreciated it.
We did. Yeah.
You're more than welcome.
So any mark rounding, and we actually did a good job of this today, which is very unusual for a boat round off. Normally I'm the one stuck on the outside, having to go round in dead air, everyone passing, and today I convinced Bruce, slow the boat down, wait for a gap in clear air, and it paid off so many times today. We paid off finding clear lanes, staying out of traffic. I mean, we went the long way. We weren't particularly looking for pressure today, because if you tried to chase pressure, it wasn't there by the time we got there. So we made the best of what we got in terms of pressure, and you know, and we got way better towards the end of the day. So that's some good finishes. So, anyone think there's places on the race course that you should avoid or paid off to be?
I think Jimmy made a comment after race 3 that I missed. He goes, it seems like the wind fills in from the right on the first leg. And I said, yeah, you're right. I didn't see that. Okay, so most of the puffs on the first leg came from the right.
Yes.
Jimmy made a comment to me the first race. He goes, why did you, at the start, he goes, why did you just tack right into my dirty air? And I'm like, I don't know.
I think that first leg, the right could pay off because you could get pressure first. The middle was good, and the left was just, anytime anyone went left, I didn't even worry about it. I don't know what anyone